A new patch has gone live for Diablo 4 on all platforms, and I wanted to take a look at it. There's a lot in here to go through. I'm not going to look at every little detail, especially with the bug fixes, because there's tons of them, but I'm going to focus on the gameplay adjustments and balance changes mostly. So you can see here, we've got bug fixes for dungeons, events, and other activities, a lot there. Gameplay fixes, there's some local co-op fixes, quest fixes, UI fixes. By the way, I will put a link in the description if you want to check out all of the patch notes. There's just a lot here, and I don't want this to be like a 20-minute video to just get to the stuff that I really, really want to go after. Miscellaneous fixes, and now we're gonna jump down to the gameplay adjustments. This is the big one for me. Experience rewards. Significantly increase the experience awarded for completing nightmare dungeons. I think that's going to make a lot of people really happy. I wouldn't know because I'm not even at that point in the game yet. I'm just about there, but I don't have much time to play. So I'm kind of still working my way towards getting into the really, really high level stuff. Significantly increase the experience gained from killing monsters in nightmare dungeons. Also really cool. I think a lot of people will be happy to see that. Some of these are things that we knew were coming. Helltide chests now provide substantially more bonus experience when opened. Significantly increased rewarded experience from completing individual whispers across the board. That's pretty cool too. Fixed an issue where no experience was awarded for completing the holdout style event that can occur after finishing dungeon objectives. Now we go into general. The Helltide roaming bosses will now more consistently drop higher quality loot. That's pretty nice. Players can now teleport to their nightmare dungeon directly through the map. I think this was something that was mentioned on one of their live streams or videos. They were going to be adding this into the game before Season 1. Weekly bonus caches from world bosses no longer have a level requirement for opening. I think that'll make a lot of people happy. And we have a little developer note. We are currently working on increasing the monster and elite density of endgame content and plan to introduce this change early in Season 1. That's another thing that they've mentioned before in the past that was going to be coming. So they're still committed to doing that. Now we're going to move into the balance changes. I'm not going to read all the numbers in here. We'll just go over all the abilities and aspects that received buffs. It is all buffs, by the way. Each class received quite a few buffs. Let's go through the developer's note here. We're continuing our efforts to make all class builds feel fun and powerful with another round of balance updates. In particular, we have seen community feedback stating that basic skills aren't impactful enough in combat. I agree with that for the most part. At least some are really impactful and others don't feel it's like a wet noodle kind of thing. It's just not working. These changes will not change the fundamental relationship between basic skills and core skills, but we hope that they help smooth out the leveling experience while we explore additional ways to strengthen them. We're also increasing the power of some skills that players feel are lagging behind their peers. As we look forward to future updates, we're monitoring other heavily discussed topics such as minion survivability and build parity. Please keep sending us feedback, and we'll see you in Sanctuary. So that basically sounds like they want to buff the basic skills for the most part, and other skills that maybe weren't seeing so much love, maybe felt underpowered, are going to get some buffs here. Maybe that will open up a lot more different builds, because I think most people would agree there's a couple builds that are way stronger for all the classes than anything else. You might as well just use the couple that work, right? So we'll just quickly list off all the things that received buffs. I'm not going to go into all the numbers because my tongue's going to get tired and the video will be incredibly long. But like I did mention, there will be a link to the patch notes if you're really curious and you want to see all the numbers quickly. So, skills that received buffs for the Barbarian. Lunging Strike, Bash. I should also mention, sorry, these are not just base damage buffs. There is damage buffs, but also resource generation buffs in here, right? Attached to these. So, again, Lunging Strike, Bash, Frenzy, Flay, Double Swing, Kick. Also received a cooldown reduction, right? Some of them have cooldown reductions, which I think is going to be really strong. Charge, Leap, Iron Skin, Call of Ancients, Iron Maelstrom. I think that received the biggest buffs. If I was guessing, I'd say that looks pretty massive to me. Bounding Slam. And then they have legendary aspects that also received buffs. The below includes changes to flat damage legendary aspects. These effects scale with item power. For example, 820 item power Bolcathos Earthquake increases from this big number to this big number. So yeah, these are the aspects that received damage buffs. Bolcathos, Earthquake, Dust Devils, Wind Lasher, Devilish, Iron Warrior. Then there's an item buff. Overkill also received a buff. Hellhammer received a buff. And now we'll look at Druid's list of skills that receive buffs as well. I haven't played Druid, so I don't know all the ins and outs of how the character really works. Earth Spike received a few buffs. Wind Shear, Claw received a bunch of buffs. Maul, Lightning Storm, Shred, Wolves, Hurricane, Rabies, Cataclysm, Lacerate, Petrify, Pummel. When I look at some of those, it looks like, and I could be wrong, if you're a Druid player, let me know in the comments, it looks like there's a few skills that really must just really be way more powerful for the Druid. When I looked at some of these, and they've got like, there's a bunch with like 3 or 4 buffs, that just sounds like they're really, really underpowered in certain skills. Anyway, so they have passives on here as well. Bestial Rampage received buffs, Nature's Fury, Lupine Ferocity, and then the aspects that receive buffs as well. Runeworker's Conduit, Mangled, Seismic Shift, received a cooldown instead. That's not damage, but a cooldown reduction. Blurred Beast also. Necromancer. What skills got buffs there? Reap received some buffs. Decompose, Hemorrhage, Bone Splinters, Sever, Blood Lance, Bone Prison, Iron Maiden, Corpse Tendrils, Bone Spikes, Raised Skeleton, and Golem. That's a little bit different. Minions will now always engage targets with a cast curse. Passives that receive buffs. Kalen's Edict, Rathma's Vigor, Spiked Armor, the legendary aspects, Bursting Bone, Flesh Rending, and Fast Blood. The rogue ones, let's go up to the top here. This one doesn't look like nearly as dense as far as things that needed to have buffs. Skills, Invigorating Strike, Blade Shift, Heart Seeker, Forceful Arrow, Barrage, Caltrops, Smoke Grenade, Rain Arrows, Volley, passives, Close Quarter Combat. And then the aspects, Escape Artist, Umbrus, and items were Eyes in the Dark. Yeah, so Rogue didn't seem like it got nearly as much buffs, but maybe that's because it's already really strong everywhere. I don't know. Now we'll go into Sorcerer. This is what my main character is a Sorcerer. Spark received some buffs. Frost Bolt, Firebolt, Charged Bolt. That all makes sense because I think most people agree that Arc Lash is the strongest one there. Incinerate received some buffs. Fireball, costs less mana. Frozen Orb, Blizzard, Ice Blades, Lightning Spear, Crackling Energy, Freezing Wake, and then the legendary aspects, Abundant Energy, Singed Extremities, Singed Extremities, probably, actually Singed, Incendiary, Snow Guards, Concentration, and then the items, Flame Scar, Staff of Lamison. That's it. That is it. If you wanted me to read the numbers, I'm sorry, but I didn't want to wear my tongue out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more Diablo content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm a new Diablo creator, and I'm loving the game. So, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.